Hello, que mi gente. It is your favorite curly-headed Dominican here with another podcast episode. One of 9 podcasts. Welcome to the show. It's been a while since I've recorded. I know I always say that, and I always go for... Anyways, we're going to cut that shit out, and we're going to try and do this more frequently. I promise. I just have a lot of shit going on. It's a whole clusterfuck of work, personal things, my daughter, and schoolwork and everything that comes with that, because it's just a lot of shit going on. So, but today is a very special day, not in a good way. Today is the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Today is September 11, and in 2001 was the catastrophic attack on New York City, on this country, and everything it stands for. So, I just like to take the time to just remember and acknowledge and see how far we've come. A lot has been created since then. Before 9/11, we didn't have TSA. We didn't have Department of Homeland Security. So that's another entity of the government that was created after the 9/11 attacks. And yeah, just it's such a shitty moment in history where so many innocent people lost their lives. And, it's sad that every year we have to relive it. And it sucks. I was in the 6th grade. I think it was like the 3rd day of middle school for me because in New York City, school doesn't start until Labor Day. And I think in other cities up north, I know here in Florida, they start a month prior to that. But in New York City, it starts after Labor Day. I'm not sure what year was Labor Day that year. But it was pretty much after that. All I can remember was we were still getting acquainted with each other. We were still being welcomed into middle school because we were in the 6th grade. And I just remember over the PA, we lived in Queens, so we lived across the Hudson. And we just remember, I remember saying, hey, this is not a drill. We're going to get underneath our desks for security. A plane has went into one of the World Trade Center towers. At the time, I didn't know what the fuck World Trade Center was because I knew them as the Twin Towers. And I think a lot of New Yorkers at that time knew them as the Twin Towers because that's what they were. If there's one thing about New York City and residents born and raised in New York City, we don't really do a lot of the touristic shit that comes with our state or our city. It wasn't until super late in my adult or in my teenage years that I would say that I went to the Statue of Liberty for the first time. Yeah, it's a monument that's in New York City, but we don't go. We avoid Times Square at all costs. We don't know the proper names of our buildings, even though the rest of the world does. It's just a New York City thing. Maybe I speak for myself, but there's a lot of people I grew up with that, they still call it the Twin Towers and stuff like that. But anyways, we got that PA announcement. We're like, get up, get under the desk. And we were like, okay, fine. We stayed there, and then we stayed there. We just stayed there. And then I remember they said that the second plane had hit the second tower. So at that point, they were like, oh, shit. Like, all right, this is not an accident. Something's going on. At the time, Mitch was in high school. I believe he was a senior. So they allowed him to go pick me up from school. We lived about 2-3 blocks from the house. He picked me up. We went home. At the time, our method of communication with my mom was beeper. Like, she worked for the city, so she worked in MTA at the time. She was a transit worker. So we would page her. She would tell us, like, this is only an emergency. Only if you really need me, page me. And then she's going to go to the payphone and call us at the house phone. That's how it was. I don't know. Maybe we was poor, but I'm not sure where we were in technology at the time. But we didn't have, like, my mom didn't have a cell phone. So we tried calling her. Nothing was up. We still had the antenna TVs. Again, we didn't have cable like everybody else. I think we might have had like satellite, but direct TV type, not direct TV, but antennas, with a few channels and this, the turnstiles on the TV. That's what the fuck we had at the time. But yeah, we tried calling her. Nothing was working because one of the towers, not sure which one exactly. Again, New York City resident. We don't know much about our buildings either. So one of I believe the first one, which was the North Tower, had the antenna on top of it. So that cut communications like completely. And we just couldn't get through. Like there was no dial tone. There was nothing. And we tried to turn on the TV. There was nothing going on with that either. So we were just like, at that point, we just gave up on life. We started crying. We were like, oh my God, where's our mom? I got something in my eye. Sorry. Like, where's our mom? Is our mom coming? Like, what's going on? We didn't know it, but at that time, my mom worked very close to where it happened. I believe she was a stop or two away on the, not sure if it was the C line or the 1 line. It was one of those two, but she was about a stop away because at that time, there was no stop directly under World Trade Center. There was like stop either before or after, and I know she was a stop away. My mom didn't get home until like 3 a.m. the next day. Like she had to walk home. She was like full of dust, soot, everything. And at the time, like anybody who works in an environment where they're responsible for other people's safety, or they're in a position where they have to protect customers in case of an emergency, or protect other people in case of an emergency. I've been in those positions. It's a very troubling and splitting thing to do because you have a family at home. Your kids depend on you. Do you sit there and be like, okay, I have to save everybody here, or do I have to make it home to my family? And I think that's what first responders face every day. It's tough. I'll tell you this right now. My mom did not choose her job that day. But then at the end of the day, what can you do? There's only so much you can do. She helped evacuate. They all went out through the tunnels. She was like, but she's not going to stay there. The fuck? She's not Superman. She's not the Hulk. You don't know what's going on. You just know that, everything was in pitch dark and you just fucking got to get out. So you're not going to sit there like and be like, okay, I got to wait. I got to clock out. No, you're going to move with the crowd. You're going to go. I think if I was in her position, I'd probably do the same. Maybe even before. I'd probably be like, follow me. I wouldn't be like, hey, guys, out this way. I'll go after you. No, like I'd be like, follow me. I'd be the first one out that fucking tunnel. But I'd be leading the way. I'd be taking people with me. But yeah, it was a very sad moment in history. It still is. It's the biggest attack on American soil till this day, and I hope it stays that way. But yeah, like I said, since then, Bush created the Department of Homeland Security Act, which is pretty much any entity that has to do with protecting American soil. Every agency belongs with Department of Homeland. So you have the Secret Service, you have immigration, you have Border Patrol, you have TSA. TSA was non-existent before then. So I don't remember how I was traveling before then, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember blue shirts. Before it was just like security. You're going into a club or something like that. You get wanded, you get searched, I guess. That's, again, I was I was like 10, 11. So I was 11. So I don't remember much, especially when it came to traveling, because we traveled like maybe once a year. But yeah, all those agencies I just named, all of those, in total, it's 22 agencies. They all belong to the Department of Homeland. So Secret Service, Coast Guards, Border Patrol, TSA. I don't know what else, but there's a lot. Can't think of it now. Oh, FEMA. It's, something good came of it. Fortunately, many people died. I believe it was close to 3,000 people total. There was 4 planes, 2 for the towers, 1 for the Pentagon, 1 was supposed to be meant for the White House. That one was the one where the crew bravely fought back, and they were able to down the plane in PA. So total, I think, is about 3,000 people. We lost a lot of first responders, so big ups to them. especially for the people afterwards, the people who signed up to the military afterwards, the people who joined first responding team, police, fire. After this, they see that they could lose their lives and they still join. So it takes a big type of bravery to do that. So, but anyways, enough of the sad stuff. I asked a few people for topics on what I should speak on. A lot of people were talking about again, these motherfuckers, they do not know how to follow instructions. I'm like, what type of topic should I talk about? Everybody's like, how's your day? Hope you're doing okay. You're beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. But it's not what the fuck I asked you. So, but there were a few good ones. Someone said, speak about relationships. There's nothing to really speak about. I'm not a relationship expert. But I can only comment on what I know, what I've seen, what friends experience, what families experience, but that's about it. But a general idea, shit. Hold on. I gotta take a sip. But yeah, I would say general idea of relationship, it should be something that both parties want. They should have the same goals or at least similar goals in order for it to for it to work. Because if one is going left, the other one's going right, at some point that rope in between you is going to snap because the tension is going to become so tough that you're just going to snap or somebody's going to either cave in or somebody's going to be like, all right, I can't do this no more. I have my own goals. I have my own, I just think it's important to be honest from the beginning. And I know the phase of dating, it's like, I want to please them because I really like them. But how long are you going to please them before you start to act like your normal self? And it's getting to the point where I'm seeing a lot of it. People, they start off by not being honest. And I don't mean by lying. I just mean like not being themselves. And they like the next person so much that they try to mold themselves into being the person that person wants. And it's at some point it's going to deteriorate because you're going to get tired of acting. You're going to get tired of pretending. And at some point you're going to show the real you. The other person's going to feel like, oh my God, this person changed. No, they didn't change. You met the changed person, but that little dating stage has faded away, or, the real you has come out, and it may not be what they like. So I'm just saying, be honest with yourself, be honest with the next person, and just being real is how you're going to attract real. And that even goes for friendships. Like, don't try to pretend. If that person's not for you, the real you, they're not gonna it's not meant for you. Like, why do you want people around you that are fake? Or why do you want to pretend to befriend other people? Like, who's that gonna benefit? Nobody at the end. One of y'all is gonna end up being miserable. And I guarantee you it's probably you, because you're the one pretending. The other person is just gonna be like, oh, okay, on to the next. And as far as friendship, I said this on my story. Just being you, being true to yourself, being happy, being naturally happy, that's how you're going to attract genuine people in your life. And it's I would just say just be normal, be natural, find peace within yourself, heal yourself, come healed. Even if you're going into any friendship, relationship, or whatever the case is. And I've said this a million times, it's okay to separate yourself from the world if it means getting to a better self, or being a better you, or being a real you. Mental health is so important to me. And even if it means separating yourself from family, blood family, because not all family is blood related. I feel like at times your chosen family are there for you more than your real family. I'm not speaking on all my family, but I'm just saying my chosen family, because it's who you choose to be around you 24/7, or you can tolerate them 24/7. And just because your blood family is your family doesn't mean you have to tolerate certain behavior from them. I'm very big on that. Very big on that energy, because we all know family can be the biggest drain in your life. There's some family that you're like, oh my God, I can't get enough of them. And then there's some that you're like, fuck, I wish they would miss the family events, or I wish they, it's just one of those. And it's just naturally how they are. It's their vibes that they bring to the table. And, not everybody's compatible. It doesn't matter if you're family or not. So, let's see what else. I actually wrote things down because there's a lot of shit that I be missing. Something else. And yesterday was a fucking debate, bro. It was the first time ever Harris and Trump were face to face in a debate. I thought that was pretty cool. Because I've always been wondering, like, she's such a smart and intellectual woman, and then this dude is just like, he throws out insults of a little pre-K that woke up from nap and found his cookies missing. Like, but you, and then every time he talks, again, I don't like politics, but this guy as a person is horrible, because he was, he's a businessman. So I'm talking on him, his personality, and the business side. I don't get into politics. I'm going straight to him. Just because he was the ex-president doesn't mean I can't cut his ass, because he's not the president now. I was watching him talk, and I'm like, every time he talks is like there's a period after every word. You, Kamala, have said that you, and you're just like, dude, just fucking talk. Like, is that how slow his brain is processing thing? Like, I cut it off after a little bit, because I'm like, this is embarrassing. I already know she's a smart and intellectual woman. He has showed otherwise. He may be savvy, and he may have that how would you describe it? That slickness. Anybody in New York could get it. Like, you can be ignorant as fuck and still get by in New York because you're street savvy, or you know how to, you know the loopholes, and you know how to get around. That's different. But if you're gonna run a country on insults and disrespect, like, I don't know. He's unhinged. That's all I gotta say. As far as Kamala, she held herself well, and I think as per popular vote, she won the debate yesterday. Thank God, but we all knew that again. I think I can count maybe one time that he said her name yesterday. Other than that, it was she, her, that, and it was just like, bruh, he's so disrespectful. I can't stand that shit. But yeah, I was also looking into it, and there's this thing called 2025 project. I didn't know what it was, but everybody's like, oh, look into it. I'm thinking it's like, okay, it's something good. I look into it. It's like I think almost 1,000 pages of how to get your country back. I'm like, back from who? Who are we getting our country back from? I don't understand. So it's pretty much a conservative's guideline to getting their country back. But I'm like, if that's the case, then we all know who should get it. Because, hello, even Thanksgiving Day was changed. It's no longer Thanksgiving Day. If you want to look it up in the calendar on your iPhone or your Android, it's literally no longer Thanksgiving Day on it. So who are we giving the country back to? Because it definitely ain't the Americans. It's probably, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But it's this, just look into it. It's called 2025 Project. And it's how to, a brochure on how to get your country back. And it doesn't come from the Trump administration or campaign, but he supports it. So that's pretty much what they're moving towards. Reducing taxes, getting the borders back, or, putting the borders and kicking out all the illegal immigrants or stuff like that. But it doesn't say how. Like, I'm pretty sure it does say how, but that's the problem. How they say how is the problem. But again, I don't like to speak on politics. I just stay in my lane. politics haven't really benefited me, or it's just, I don't know what to say. It's like every 4 years is the same shit. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, no matter who's up there. And then next thing you know, it's like, all right, 4 years are up. What has happened? Nothing has changed. So it's I don't know. What else, guys? As you can see, I have a new layout. I was trying to find a good corner in my house. That's what took me so long. We recently moved into the downtown area, and we definitely downsized apartments. So we had a lot of shit to donate, a lot of shit to throw out, a lot of shit to sell and give away. But it's cozy. We like it. It's closer to downtown. And it's something that benefits the both of us, Giselle and I. And it's just her and I. So it's definitely a lot more cozier. We love it. We're walking distance to everything. We enjoy walks in the downtown park more. We can go to the library. And it's just all that stuff that, I think it's healthier. I started taking the public bus, guys. The transportation here. I didn't think I would ever get public transportation in Orlando. But man, it's not bad actually. It's only $2. And where I am, it takes me straight to my gym, straight back, takes me to the shopping areas. I'm like, God, that's all I need. Why? Right? Insurance is so fucking high right now. Cars are so high. Why? Why the need? I was paying about $600 for my car, including car note and insurance. And then who knows, all the tolls, gas, probably upwards of the $900 a month just to have a car. And now a monthly is $50. Like, what? I'm amazed. But speaking about the system, I just noticed it's hilarious. It's funny. It's I saw an advertisement for Verizon. It was like a newer line coming to you, no hidden fees, upfront payment, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, is that how fucked up our economy is, that you have all these expensive ass providers? And it's not only just them, it's other companies. They're creating cheaper brands to reel in people who can't afford their expensive brands, but then they're not willing to compromise on their expensiveness of their companies. It's like, if you really want to help, you would lower your prices. All these taxes, all these hidden fees. And I'm like, that's what your other company does. Like, for example, Verizon, I saw they have, I think it's called Total Wireless. And it's like no hidden fees, upfront payment, blah, blah, blah. I was like, so pretty much it's like a Metro PCS. You pay one flat rate. But I'm like, what about the people who are with your Verizon, your normal Verizon, the ones who get billed, the ones who are sucked into a contract? They're wind up tighter than a fucking stripper's thong in these contracts, and you're out here creating a cheaper brand. I don't understand. Just reduce your fucking prices. It's insane. It's not just telephone companies or cell phone companies. It's also, other things. For example, I don't know if you guys remember Hollister or American Eagle. They have other things like cheaper brands of their same brands. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Just reduce your regular prices. That way you can invite people who can't afford your expensive prices. But it's one of those things where you're just like, look at it, and I'm pretty sure there's some science to it, but me as a customer and me as a person paying bills and working, I don't really understand how these companies, we all know they're trying to get their buck. Everybody's trying to get their buck, but it's just the science behind it doesn't make sense to me. What else? Somebody else said, talk about abortion. Another dicey subject that I don't like to talk about because people get real personal about these things. People get personal about religion, politics, abortion, Anything that has to do with their personal beliefs. And I'm like, I respect everybody's personal beliefs. I stay in my lane. I don't bother nobody. Of course, I have an opinion on things, but you learn to keep that shit to yourself if you know it's going to hurt somebody. You can always say it in the nicest of ways. Doesn't mean they're going to like it either way. But how I feel on abortion, I just feel like it's your personal choice. It's your body, your personal choice. The only thing I don't agree with is a person who gets one abortion every season. Like, at some point, you're just wondering, like, are you even caring about yourself? Because there's a lot graver things out there than pregnancy. Trust me. So it's like, are you, like, even bothering to wrap it up? Are you even bothering to protect yourself? At this point, I think a bigger concern of spreading something is, the point. But abortion, again, I think that no man should have a seat at that table of discussion, because no man will ever know what it's like to experience a pregnancy, an abortion, cramps, a period, nothing like that. So no man with testicles, just to be specific, deserves any place at that table, unless he's a doctor and he's talking about health issues or anything health related about abortions. But as far as him opinionating on whether women should have rights or not, mind your fucking business. Sit at the table, go play dominoes, or go drink a beer with your friends, because there should be no seat at this table for you. That's just how I feel. But as far as abortion in general, I feel like it's your personal choice. Everybody has their own reasons. Mistakes happen. I understand that. And that's just the bottom line. Yeah. Another discussion that somebody, they said relationships. Oh, weed. How do you feel about weed? Same thing about, abortion. I don't, how should I put this? Because abortion and weed have nothing in common. But I feel the same. As far as, I don't have an issue with it. As long as you blow it in my face, we won't have, as long as you don't blow it in my face, we won't have an issue. So if you want to go ahead and smoke your weed, do you. I just personally wouldn't advertise it. I just miss the days where the only way I found out that you were smoking weed was if you was high as fuck, your eyes was glazed like a Krispy Kreme donut, or you got the munchies, or you smelled like it. But nowadays, people fucking smoke that shit and blow it in your face like you okay with it. I personally don't smoke weed. I don't have an issue with anybody who smokes weed, and I respect those people who be like, yo, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go smoke some weed. Do you, buddy? I don't have any hard feelings towards you, but do not smoke that shit around me, because I don't like the smell. I personally don't like any smell unless it smells good. And to me, weed does not smell good. If your weed smoking is going to inhibit me from smelling like my Prada perfume or my Dolce & Gabbana or any perfume that I paid a lot for and now I'm wearing, but now I gotta wear your bud smell, then we gonna have a fucking issue. But that's about it. But yeah, smoke your weed. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. It won't come up on my urine test. That's all I gotta say. What else? All these other topics I can talk about it another day, and these are also good to talk with somebody else. I have a few guests on my show that are probably, I have this new platform that I'm going to be using online where I can do podcast episodes from afar, and it comes up like a FaceTime, so it's pretty cool. I say a lot, don't I? Fuck. I gotta work on that. But yeah, I'm super excited. At the end of the month, I'm gonna go out with there we go again. At the end of the month, I'm going to go to Vegas with one of my friends. She's a cool DJ down in Miami. And I think you guys should check her out. I'm going to tag her. And I'm definitely going to have her repost so you know who she is. She would do that. She's cool as fuck. If you guys remember one of my early on guests, Michelle, it's her sister. So they're dope ass people, humble, super humble, hardworking, and we're gonna go out to Vegas for a show. I'm not gonna say who. You guys would just see it. You know, it's like that meme. You won't know I won the lottery, but there'll be signs. That's gonna be me. I'm going to be out in Vegas. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. We're going to have a good fucking time. I'm going to try and record a podcast episode out there. It's going to be my first podcast abroad. Not abroad. That's still the U.S. It's going to be my first episode being recorded outside of my home state. And we're going to have a good time. You're going to see a lot of fucking videos. Whew. But yeah, we're going to go see this really cool up-and-coming artist, another hard worker. And she's really dope. I'm going to tag her after the Vegas trip. Just so you guys can see. Actually, no, I don't want to let you guys know right now. I'll let you guys know maybe on my next. I'm going to do another episode before we go to Vegas. And I'm going to do one in Vegas. So you guys can see the trip. I'm going to record the trip. I'm going to just show you guys the insights of traveling with all this shit. It's my first time, so I know I'm gonna be having a hard time, and you're gonna watch me struggle, and we're just gonna have fun and laugh and create a lot of funny shit on the road. That's about it. That's all I can say, guys. Like I said, this is just a little quick episode that I wanted to show you guys my face, let you guys know that I'm still doing podcasts. There's a lot of other dicey topics that I do want to talk about, but it's going to come more with time. Like I said, I waited a little bit because I was trying to find a good corner in my house to be able to film in peace with a nice background and just be comfortable and talk with you guys as I'm sitting on my little couch. You guys are watching me from wherever you may be, from your house, from your couch, from your job. If you're sitting on a toilet hiding from doing work, that's okay. I don't judge you. I've been there before. Just, going through reels. But on behalf of me and my entire heart, I'd like to thank you guys for sticking it through with me till this far. I kindly ask that you guys please share my content. I'm trying to make it to other viewers, other states, and eventually be to the point where I can bring awareness somewhere to some type of issue. I know next week, or actually this week, the 15th is National, it's National Hodgkin's Lymphoma Awareness Day, which I hold very dearly because that's what I was diagnosed with at the age of 16. And I'm about 2 years shy of being 20 years into the diagnosis. I have been cleared for about 16 years now, so thank God I was cleared. I received the proper treatment, chemo and radiation and all that stuff. So that day I'm definitely going to be doing some recording or some type of awareness for it. I'm still working on how to dedicate a portion of my merch proceeds to that foundation. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Like I said, I'm a newbie. I'm doing all this shit from scratch because I want to see the hard work. I want to be the hard work. And I want it to mean something. So it would really mean a lot to me if you guys would shoot any ideas my way. Just let me know if you have any ideas on how I can do that. And also, while you're at it, stop being a little bitch and go check out my merch. It's oneof9podcast.com. There you're going to see my new line of merch. And I even have some one-of-a-kind items on there that what you see is what you get. There's only one piece of it. And my new shoppers, they get a percentage off. And if you spend more than $50, you get free shipping. Shipping's on me. So go ahead and check that out. One of 9 podcasts. I would really appreciate it. I would really love it. if you go ahead and cop some merch, rock my merch, and represent the merch. Represent me, represent the One of Nine podcast and what it means. So with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for sticking it through. And I'll see you next time, hopefully on the 15th on Lymphoma Awareness Day. Thank you.